Good morning everyone and welcome to this webinar. Our topic for today's webinar is Oracle Fusion Cloud Integration Solutions. My name is Dermot Murray. I'm the VP of Technology Solutions at Inoapps, an Oracle Platinum Partner. Objective of today's session is to introduce you to some of the various tools, techniques and methodologies that are available to deliver integration solutions into and out of Oracle Cloud ERP applications. What I'm going to be talking to you today about is real-world examples, real-world experiences that we at Inoapps have had working with some of our customers over the last 12 to 18 months. Hopefully by sharing these insights, that will help you in planning of your upcoming cloud projects. So our agenda for today, I'm going to start off with a very brief introduction to Inoapps. Then I'm going to talk about the cloud integration conundrum and some of the challenges and considerations that need to be thought of when you're planning your cloud integration strategies. I'm going to talk you through some of the solutions that are available to you, look at some of the Oracle products and how they can be used, and finish off with some thoughts and considerations, some just general points of reflection based on some of the conversations we've been having with our customers. A couple of notes of housekeeping before we start. We are recording this webinar today and it will be available on our Inoapps corporate website over the next couple of days. If there are colleagues or associates that haven't been able to join us today, then feel free to point them at the Inoapps website and they'll be able to view this content afterwards. We are also available to take questions. We'll have some time, hopefully at the end of today's session, to take and respond to some of those questions. We may not be able to get through all of the questions. If we don't, then I will, either myself or one of my colleagues will follow up afterwards. But feel free to use the questions panel in your GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar console. Fire any questions through there and I will endeavour to answer them. A very brief introduction to Inoapps for those of you who don't know anything about us. We are a specialised Oracle Platinum Partner. We work across the full red stack from server storage and licenses, middleware, databases, development tools, right up to the application stack. We are the largest independently owned Oracle Specialist Partner in the UK, and I think we may also be the largest in the whole of EMEA. We work with customers across every aspect of the middleware, database and applications offerings from Oracle. We've won lots of Scout badges, most recently the Specialised Partner of the Year for Oracle Cloud, which is a big achievement for us based on our work over the last 12 to 18 months. We have offices throughout the UK, 4 offices in the UK, an office out in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and a recently opened office out in Houston, Texas. And really, in terms of our core focus, it is an awful lot of work in the application space, ERP, HCM, also in the enterprise performance management, BI, as well as a really strong traditional base in Oracle E-Business, R12 upgrades and implementations of Oracle E-Business across a wide range of sectors. The last thing I'd like to say about Inoapps as an organisation is in terms of our Fusion Cloud credentials. It's been an amazing 12 to 18 months for us. We were the first production implementation of Fusion Financials in the UK. That was actually an implementation to Inoapps as an organisation. We both deploy Fusion Financials, Fusion Cloud solutions, but we also use those products internally for our own delivery of our services. We were the first production implementation of a multi-pillar Fusion Cloud solution that comprised of Fusion Finance, Fusion HCM and Fusion Sales. We delivered the first production implementation of a database as a service in the UK, and we delivered that as part of the multi-pillar Fusion. And that was then used to integrate a customer legacy application, and we were the first live production deployment of that sort of technologies in the UK. We are currently working on our 9th Fusion deployment. I don't believe there's any other organisation that's had quite so much activity over the last 12 years. So in essence, what we're talking about today is based on these real-world experiences, these projects that we have delivered. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about the conundrum, the challenges that cloud ERP integration faces. I think some of the things we'll go through here apply to all cloud ERP solutions, not just Oracle's solutions. Cloud ERP offers a simplification of the IT landscape. No longer is there a requirement to go and purchase and rack endless servers and worry about all of that infrastructure, because of course that's delivered as part of the cloud solution. As a result, cloud ERP solutions, offer rapid deployment, and based on many of the experiences that we've had, far more rapid deployment than traditionally from an on-premise deployment. And of course, one of the key considerations for cloud ERP solutions is that as an organization, there will be an inherent move to standardized business processes. Cloud ERP solutions offer best practice processes, and the key fundamental assumption is that your organization will adapt to those best practice business processes. What that means is cloud ERP solutions also stop customizations. For those of you that have a background in traditional Oracle e-business, it was not uncommon for organizations to just go and customize their e-business instance, which allowed them to tailor the solutions to meet their business processes, but then left them with an ongoing legacy of heavily customized and therefore a high cost of ownership and a high cost of upgrade. So that goes away in the cloud ERP world. Cloud ERP also stops the concept of some of these backdoors. Again, any organization familiar with e-business will understand that there was always a way of coming in through the back door, ideally through a supported route, which is of course the best recommendation. But all sorts of organizations have done all sorts of things to e-business, behind the covers, which isn't really the recommended way of doing things, but can sometimes be a neat way to deliver direct integration. So all that goes away in the cloud ERP world, but the fundamental requirements remain. You still need to deliver integration solutions in a cloud world. You still need to be able to provide joined up business solutions, and you still need to avoid data silos. Otherwise, what you're going to deliver is a step backwards from what people have at this point in time in the traditional on-premise world. So those are some of the key challenges and conundrums that cloud ERP integration presents. And this is a very typical architecture that many of our customers have come to us with. We may have a cloud solution in the middle, much as our Oracle associates and colleagues would like organizations to deploy Oracle solutions for all of their business processes. The simple reality is that many organizations have HR or CRM or maintenance repair type applications from other vendors, and those solutions need to talk to your cloud ERP. If you have HCM or finance delivered as the central core to your organization, those applications need to talk to these various other legacy applications. And the box in the bottom right-hand corner is a key one. One of the things that we found, with nearly all of our customers, is that they have some kind of legacy applications, either running an old technology or proprietary technology, or solutions that have been bought off the shelf from maybe not a tier 1 vendor. And it's essential those legacy applications are also capable of integrating back into your cloud ERP solutions. So what does that mean from an integration perspective? Whatever your integration solution needs to be flexible, it needs to be secure. Of course, the plumbing that ties all these things together has to be every bit as secure as your core application. Data in transit is at risk, and therefore your integration points need to be secure. It needs to be robust and reliable. If there's an opportunity for data to be lost in transit, that represents a risk to the business. It needs to be robust, reliable, and future-proofed. We've seen a huge sea change in the IT landscape over the last 12 to 18 months as the move to cloud, and I think that's going to continue. So whatever integration solution you put in place has to be sufficiently flexible to be able to deal with any future changes. And from a governance perspective, it's vital that your integration framework is auditable and capable of coping with exception. We'll talk a little bit more about error handling and what's involved with that, but that's absolutely essential. So what does that mean from an Oracle perspective? Well, the good news is Oracle, as an organization, offer a wide range of solutions to this integration challenge. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk through some of those solutions. Just at a high level, we could talk for many, many hours about each of these solutions, but in the interest of time, this will be a whistle-stop tour. But I'm going to talk through each of those solutions at a high level, what they look like, and then try and map those into the various different use cases of when each of these different solutions would be most applicable. What's the business scenario that would most lend itself to each of these? So, firstly, we'll talk about some of the standard Fusion utilities. So, the key thing to consider here is that with the Oracle Cloud Fusion solutions, there are a wide range of standard integration components that are available to all users from day one. So to get data in, we have a whole series of tools and utilities to allow us to upload data, file-based loaders, data loaders, and there are new tools being produced by Oracle on an ongoing basis. There's very recently a new suite of HCM data loader tools that offer some really powerful functionality. So lots of ways of users to get data into the system via Excel uploads, file-based uploads, those sorts of approaches. And it's a really neat and efficient way of getting data in on an ad hoc basis. There's also, very similar in the e-business world, a whole series of inbound APIs. And there's lots of documentation from Oracle, OTN, and the Oracle document repository has lots of information, lots of user guides and how-tos on those inbound APIs, and they can be used to insert data into Oracle schemas through a structured, controlled and supported methodology so that you don't impact on your support agreement and therefore invalidate your data anyway. So lots of different ways of getting data in, and likewise there's lots of different ways of getting data out. The reporting tools, OTBI, Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence, BI Publisher, offer a wide range of capabilities to get data out into various formats. It's possible to use some of the standard tools to integrate with HR and payroll, things like a standard out-of-the-box ADP interface, for instance, which is one of the payroll tools of choice. Likewise, bank files, every organisation needs to send files to and from the bank, data export tools and outbound APIs. So, conclusion is, there are many, many very powerful tools within the standard Oracle Fusion Cloud solutions that allow data to be loaded and extracted from your ERP application driven by end user communities. But the reality is, and from work we've done with our customers want the ability to have batch processing. They want the ability to have automated integration. They want the ability to be able to handle errors as they arise, deal with those errors and process those errors. And they also need the ability to do data transformation. If you don't have a master data management solution in place, how can you ensure that a transaction that's coming from a third-party system is going to use the same referencing for your customers or your suppliers or your charter accounts? So therefore you need to be able to handle that data transformation with the data transit of transactions from source to target. So all of these things are the sorts of requirements that a mature organisation is going to need for their ERP platform. The necessity for all uploads and downloads to be manually user-driven isn't practical in the real world. So one of the excellent solutions that Oracle offer is a suite of products called Integration Cloud Services. Integration Cloud Services are a relatively new product from Oracle, been available for three or four months now, and it's a product that's going through a rapid development phase, as is many of the Oracle Cloud solutions. But what it offers is what Oracle would class as the best-in-class hybrid integration. Effectively, it's a simple yet very powerful integration platform, web-based, browser-based tool with a simplified user interface to deliver point-and-click integration between applications. It provides a monitoring dashboard that gives real-time insight into the transactions and the errors associated with those transactions to allow you to monitor and maintain those. And it also provides a library of adapters, pre-built adapters, to connect to various applications. And we'll speak more about what those applications are shortly. Using the Oracle ICS tools, it allows you to accelerate your integration projects and shorten time to market. You're using pre-built content, pre-built connectors and therefore, where those connectors are appropriate, it means that you can deliver solutions much quicker than having to build everything from scratch. Pre-built connectors provides native connection to Oracle software, and there's a range of integration packages that are available from Oracle. In addition, there's also additional adapters that are available through the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. Cloud Marketplace is a shop window either for Oracle offerings or partners such as Inoapps to publicize and make available the adapters and connectors that they've built between Oracle ERP applications and third-party applications. So the Cloud Marketplace offers a shop window for those solutions that can, again, rapidly speed up the implementation of integrations to applications of that type. So the implementation process is simply to subscribe to the relevant adapter, acquire it, and activate that prepackaged, and then the user interface allows you to configure and define those integration points. Time is going to defeat us doing a live demonstration today, but these are some screenshots of the application. A nice simple user interface. We can see here that we have half a dozen different connections, the top one being a connection through to a legacy eBusiness 12.2 instance. If we're going to go and create a new integration point, maybe to a new third-party application, or maybe back for a new process flow back into an existing application, we go through a wizard-based system that allows us to define the integration point, do mappings from tables and fields, attributes within our source and target entities, and we also have the ability here to do mappings if we want to transform individual items of data from one mapping into another. Then we have the ability to do that as well. So very powerful functionality, simple user interface, and a relatively low learning curve for your users. Provides a really capable and powerful integration tool. We have a monitoring tool, example here, that monitors all of the inbound and outbound transactions, and it allows you to identify failed transactions, amend those transactions, resubmit those transactions, and keep a close eye on the overall integrity of the data that's flowing between your target systems. Some of the pre-built connectors that are available, as I've already mentioned, this is a new and emerging product from Oracle. There is, subject to Oracle's usual safe harbor statement, a roadmap that is available on Oracle of their strategy over the next 6, 12, 18 months. There is a significant of new adapters, new products that are going to be included into the ICS family. At the moment we have Sales Cloud, Messaging Cloud, many of the Oracle modules, and therefore ICS can be used to facilitate an integration between Oracle Marketing Cloud and Oracle Sales Cloud. ICS would be the plumbing between those individual modules, individual applications. In addition, there's some other Salesforce, I believe there's also one for Dynamics CRM. And then there's also a generic SOAP-based connector. So that can then be used to connect to other applications that may not be one of the pre-built applications that Oracle offer. There is functionality that allows you to connect to other applications that you may have within your organization if you should so wish. So in summary, ICS is a great tool taking advantage of pre-built content and integrations. It is fully supported by Oracle, and obviously there's an ongoing roadmap for that product into the future, and it does have some quite powerful mapping, auditing, and exception handling. The feedback we've had from some of our customers as we've been talking to them about ICS is, at this point in time, it is always an ongoing exercise, but there are limited pre-built packaged apps. More will be coming, but if you look at that roadmap from Oracle, the focus is around those best of breed, the tier 1 type applications. So one of the challenges if the applications that you have that you wish to integrate don't fall into that category, then ICS may only offer limited functionality for you in those areas. And the final consideration is there is a cost of ownership and licensing associated with it. It does offer good value when you consider the pre-built connections that are available there, but there is a cost associated with ICS, and that may be an issue for some customers. So, great tool, works very well, but may not solve every requirement for a customer. Some of the use case scenarios that we've come across where ICS, wouldn't fit at this point in time is integration with legacy platforms. We had a particular customer that was running a very old legacy application on an Oracle 8 database with no web service enablement, with no integration capabilities of that. So there was no way in the world that we could really get that to talk to an ICS type framework. We have customers using proprietary non-standard applications that are never going to appear on Oracle's roadmap. So in those scenarios that ICS may not be the best solution for that. The other challenge, we have had some customers where they wish to keep investment to a minimum, and ICS may not be available to them with their budget. And also, if the Oracle product roadmap isn't there right now and there was an immediate need, how do you solve that problem? One of the projects we worked on, ICS wasn't even available at the time of kickoff. So therefore, how does the customer solve those problems? So for us, it's all about removing those barriers. If integration is a barrier to cloud adoption and the Oracle tools, ICS, doesn't solve that problem at the moment, how else can that be achieved? Well, here at Inoapps, we built our own little solution to this. It's a solution that we've built using Oracle technologies, Oracle Database Cloud technologies, and it's a tool that we called it InnoHub. It's a simple little tool that allows the management and administration of a wide range of messaging and interface messaging tasks, and it allows you to build individual point integrations between your cloud ERP solutions and your existing estate. It provides audit, control, exception handling, error logging, and fundamentally uses a whole series of messaging tasks that would carry out the business logic for those integration points. A really key consideration here is that this is all using Oracle technologies. We're using the low-cost Oracle Database Cloud platform, which offers a really powerful database solution alongside your Oracle ERP solutions, cloud solutions. It's using all the same technology, same infrastructure, same security policies. There's a really good synergy between the two, and it's using Oracle Application Express, which is one of the out-of-the-box components that Oracle Database Cloud comes with as a development platform. So it's a very low cost of learning. It's a very simple tool. So our InnoHub tool works in a very simple way. We have our source system. We have our database as a service running our InnoHub in the middle, and we have our Fusion ERP Cloud solution on the right-hand side. And the business process is relatively simple. We take our message, and that can be a message associated with any business process. We present that from our source system in a variety of formats. Could be a JSON message or a SOAP envelope. It could be direct database inserts. Could be a CSV or even an inbound email. We have a variety of challenges that we've had to solve, and integrating to lots of different legacy platforms is one of them, and we've been able to use the power of the underlying database to connect through a wide variety of channels. That message from the source system then gets consumed by our InnoHub and posted to some staging tables. So the actual underlying architecture is very simple. We write these messages to some staging tables, and we then carry out some transformation of those messages as required to do the mappings, to supplement or adjust the format of that message so that it then fits into the format of the public APIs. Fundamentally, in order to get data into Fusion ERP Cloud, you have to go via the public APIs. So we need to manipulate that message that we receive into the correct format. Another way of looking at it is that we take some messages in, we send some messages out, we do some transformation, and we sit on top of that a whole range of auditing, exception handling to provide the governance that's necessary. I've got a few examples here very specific to particular customer needs, but these are some data flows that we've built. So here, first example, purchase order request. So we had a purchase order that was being raised in a third-party finance system that we wanted to synchronize back into our Oracle ERP. So the purchase order requisition was raised in source system. That was passed as an approved purchase order through our hub. We received a message, a JSON message, transformed that, and then used that to create a purchase order within our Oracle ERP system. Solution that we built for a customer and is working fantastically well. Associated with that is the concept of goods received notification. So the goods are then receipted in a third-party system, and we then credit those receipts against our purchase order. So again, a really neat and simple way of synchronizing two business processes across two disparate systems to allow us to avoid data silos. Many customers come to us with a requirement to generate invoices in some third-party system, maybe a sales CRM type system, or some other, maybe a sister company, something like that, where the invoice creation comes from externally. It's possible to manually upload those invoice requests through some of the data loaders, but if you want to automate that process, then we've used our Inoapps to automate that process, generate the invoice demand creation, and then dispatch that through our finance system. And the last little scenario, very similar from a payables perspective, expenses being logged in third-party legacy systems. The obvious place to log those would be within the Oracle Fusion expenses module used in the mobile clients. But if that's not part of the scope of work, or if that business process is being delivered elsewhere, then we can deliver that integration to deliver an end-to-end business process using the Inoapps. And in this scenario, we've carried out some mapping and transformed chart of account entries from one entry into another across operating units. So it's just a few scenarios there. This is a list of various, a subset of the use cases that we've delivered. Just to pick out a few: master data management, synchronization of suppliers, customers and users across disparate systems. If your master supplier is held in your third-party system and you want to synchronize those through into your Fusion system, then we've used our hub to do that. And likewise, if you wish to use your Fusion Cloud ERP as your master for customers, then we can synchronize those out. Time card journals, a whole series of different use cases, all of which have been delivered using our Inoapps solution. So in summary, the Inoapps integrates Oracle Cloud Solutions with legacy or third-party systems. It allows you to transform that data in transit with a wide framework of auditing and exception handling in a robust and skilled platform with a full audit trail. We've been able to deliver this in a matter of weeks to a number of customers. Weeks, not months, not years. Very simple, highly flexible solution with a low cost of ownership. So where some of the standard Oracle tools are not able to deliver the integration that you require, or don't fit the specific requirements you have, then we would happily discuss the concept of Inoapps and whether that's a solution that may work for you. I've got a fourth option on here, and time is going to feature today, but I did want to just to talk about it. The concept of PaaS for SaaS. This is Oracle terminology that you may hear from our Oracle colleagues talk about: platform as a service for software as a service. So really, this is when we move into the realms of more complex integrations. Fundamentally, Oracle have a very long, successful track record of delivering integration solutions using some of the tools that they've built up over the years that comprise the Oracle SOA suite. So Service Bus, BPM, SOA Gateway, BPEL, a whole suite of very powerful, very mature tools that have been used really successfully by an awful lot of organizations to deliver integration solutions across the organization, linking together many disparate solutions. We've seen many e-business customers that use this type of framework behind their e-business suite to provide the integration, to provide the orchestration of data transformation, data integration across their organization. And what we're finding that there are many organizations who still retain that level of complexity, who still have the need for that complex architecture with the orchestration, with the control to allow them to maintain this level of integration whilst retaining a low cost of ownership. And Oracle absolutely have a solution for this. It's using this core framework of mature, sound, highly utilized tools and deploying those in a cloud-based environment. So we're not going to have time to really talk about this today, unfortunately, but the Oracle PaaS for SaaS suite providing some of that SOA-based framework offers a really viable solution that offers all the benefits of cloud-based solutions whilst retaining all of the power and complexity that these tools can offer. So, just wanted to talk about that as a final solution. What I've done here is built a really simple little heat map of where, in our opinion, we feel that each of these tools and solutions best fits with a customer requirement. So if you take in the top left-hand corner, the standard out-of-the-box Fusion tools, we would consider that to be an excellent solution for customers that have relatively simple requirements, maybe a bank and a payroll integration, small volumes of integration data, ad hoc requirements to be able to load things, and the standard out-of-the-box Fusion tools are more than capable of doing that sort of integration, and users would then process those individual transactions, by hand through the upload routines. ICS we see as an excellent solution for organisations that are taking a multi-pillar Oracle estate, organisations that are taking more than one of the Oracle modules, be it CX or CRM, finance, HCM, where you're looking for the integration of those business processes across those different modules, then ICS is absolutely the right solution for you. The pre-built connectors that Oracle have made available are absolutely the right tool. And likewise, if you're looking at some of the best-of-breed tools, some of the third-party tools, then the pre-built content there is absolutely the right thing. In our experience, we found that our Inoapps solution has been really useful where we've had customers that have had legacy or proprietary apps, apps that may not fit in with the pre-built configurations for ICS, or may not have the web-based enablement that maybe a cloud-based solution may need. So in those scenarios, we found that our Inoapps solution is excellent, and because of the simplicity of the solution, if budget is a real constraint, it's possible to use some of these tools as a simple and low-cost solution for it. And finally, the PaaS for SaaS for organisations that have that level of complexity, the multi-dimensional integration. And also we're seeing a real interest in customers that have got Oracle E-Business Suite with a complex integration framework behind the scenes, migrating that framework, retaining the business logic, retaining the integration points as they are, but moving them into a cloud-based environment offers significant benefits and returns. My last slide, some food for thought really. And these are just some comments and discussion points that often come up in our conversations with customers. One of the things that is often put on the table at our first session is, we need this all to be real-time, we need real-time integration. And often we'll go back and challenge that and say, well, do you really? What's the business scenario where you actually need that real-time integration to take place? And often when you challenge that and go back to the users, you'll find that actually, real-time isn't actually needed all the time. Near real-time is often good enough, or actually a consistent, reliable, batched update is often acceptable and perfectly realistic. And of course, the cost of ownership of that is a lot lower than having to make real-time. As soon as you have real-time, you then end up with closely coupled integration points, which can leave you with all sorts of performance problems and reliability problems. So we would recommend, challenging whether real-time is a specific and realistic need. Error handling is another interesting concept. If something breaks, who do you go to fix it? Well, if it's an infrastructure or connectivity or a database type issue, then of course it goes to IT. But if a transaction fails because it's tried to post to an accounting period that's not yet open, well, IT aren't going to be able to fix that. That needs to be the business users. So one of the real successes we've had is where we've been able to distinguish between errors caused by IT and errors caused by business logic, and the allocation of those errors to the correct person for resolution, we found is something that's been really beneficial. Resilience is a really key consideration. So, IT systems break, that's what they do. So therefore you need to cater and plan for the fact that at some point in time something's going to go wrong with your integration. And much like real-time, the reality is most organisations can cope with that as long as there's a acceptable planning around it. What's more important is if your integration does break for a couple of hours, what happens to those transactions that have been queued up in the meantime? and generally we find that it's okay as long as the system is restored in a reasonable time frame, but it's absolutely essential that those transactions that are queued up are not lost. And it's much more important to think about resilience of where those transactions go, and catering for those scenarios, rather than concentrating everything on maintaining 100% availability. You absolutely have to cater for the fact that at some point it's going to break. How do you maintain that resilience and reliability? And my final point is really just something to ponder. There is no really answer for this. The speed of change that's going on in the cloud-based world and the Oracle economy at the moment is quite frightening. So as you build your solutions, you need to make them as flexible and open as possible, because the Oracle solutions in 12 months time will probably be quite different than they are right now. So something to consider. And that, my friends, is my content for this morning. I hope you have found that useful. I did say at the start that I would endeavour to take some questions. If you give me a moment here, I will just check my console. Okay, so we have had a number of questions in. I'm conscious of time, so we'll probably not get to answer all of them. Okay, so here's an interesting question, which is actually relevant. I think this has probably come from an organisation that uses e-business. Is it possible to get back-end access to the Oracle Cloud database? It's quite a simple answer, which is the answer is no. Fundamentally, it's not possible to get a database connection of any format to be able to go and look at the underlying database tables. Having said that, we've had a lot of success using the OTBI and BI Publisher tools. Using that, it is possible to construct effectively freehand SQL statements that allow you to query and interrogate underlying database tables through a controlled tool, and that we've had good success in using those tools to be able to extract data and send that data elsewhere. So the answer to the question is no, but there is a workaround and a feasible solution to solve those business problems. I think I've run over 5 minutes, but we'll just take time for one more question. Okay, this is an interesting question. Does it make any difference where the data center is? I'm assuming what that means is where the underlying data center for your ERP cloud instance is versus where the integration points are. I think probably the best answer to that question is we have actually come across some instances. So first and foremost, Oracle are continuing to expand their UK and European data centers. So there is much more of the cloud infrastructure now hosted in Slough and Amsterdam, which does resolve some of the data protection issues with locating data outside EU boundaries. What we have found, and one particular quirky thing we came across recently, was building in place an integration out to one of the banks, and we were looking to do, I believe, an SFTP type integration out to one of the banks, and we found that needed to be located on the same continent. I believe there's some data transit regulations around. So in general, it doesn't make any difference, but we have found a couple of scenarios. I guess the answer is we need to understand carefully what your data flows are and where those data points are going to be to understand where the physical location impacts on that. But we have come across a couple of instances where it has been a point for discussion. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to have time. I did want to try and keep this to half an hour, 35 minutes this morning. I do hope this has been useful and informative for you. We have done many of these now, and hopefully the lessons that we've learned will shed some light. But we would, welcome the opportunity to have any further discussions with anyone that's interested in learning more. We have some contact details on here. Feel free to contact the team at head office, and then they can pass your details through to myself or one of my colleagues. Once again, I thank you for your time this morning, and I wish you all a good day.